Okay, here we have the Sentinel bipedal walking mechanical robot that you can build. Files will be up on Thingiverse. Let's shut it down. So, the first video I was showing the build without the body. Since then I have made the body, although the head and these arms and these bits are still gluing, drying if you will. I'm going to pull that off in order to show you the inside. It has a battery door with a sliding latch. You got the same sliding latch mechanism where you put it in that way and then bring that over. Like that. 2 AA batteries to power the whole thing. And I don't, with the head on there, I can't put my finger in there to push. I made the body fit really snug. I guess if you go to print the body, you might want to up it by half of 1% or something to loosen up, unless you like the snug fit. I'm trying to think of a way of lifting it off because I can't grab hold of the head. Like I say, I've just put glue on it, so I know that's not dry. I don't really want to grab the arms, so I'm going to see if I can pull this all off without pulling the glued parts apart. I haven't really got anything to hang on to. Here we go. It's coming. Alright. Like I say, basically the head, which I print down like that, because that way I don't have to have supports on any of the parts that show. It's just glued in. You can see there's a neck hole that it fits into and you can line it up. The arms, if you see the seam, I split them so they could print flat on the bed without visible supports. However, just like with the head, I did hollow out the arm, and these tips are a separate part, hollowed those out too. So if a person wanted to, if we can get light up in there, see there's a hole, that would go all the way through to here. Person could put 3mm LEDs in there and bring the wires up, and the eye holes are there. You could go anywhere from a 3 to a 5mm on the eyes because the head is hollowed out as well. Now the reason I didn't put LEDs in mine is because I'm afraid that if I brought the wires out and soldered them on here and then pushed the body down, that the wires are going to get entangled in these gears. So the only way to do it without worrying about that would be to not have the head glued on yet, have the head off, put the body on, and go, okay, I'm never taking that off again. I already have 2 power wires coming off, right off the motor right there. Just solder 2 wires, have them sticking up in the pigtail, and that way when you slide the body down you can push all the excess wiring up inside the head to keep it from getting into the gears. So if you want to light it, you can light it. Just keep in mind that it could be tricky. You don't want anything getting where it can get snagged into the gears or any of this linkage or anything like that. As I stated in the earlier video, I don't glue these buttons in here, these top 3, because the body sits right against that. They can't fall out. The bottom ones down here, I did put a little teeny drop of glue just to hold them in. Not so much that I couldn't bust them loose and pull them out if I had to. And there's the sequencer lighting board. We got 2 of them for like 10 bucks or something like that off of Amazon. You can find them on eBay, you can find them on AliExpress. And up on top have the little voltage boost converter that's going to take the 3 volts from the battery pack off the motor and boost it up. In this case it boosted up to 5. Anywhere from 5 to 15 volts will run this, so pretty much any boost converter you find, as long as it'll operate, you know, at a low enough voltage. This particular one will boost up to 5 with voltages as low as 0.9 of a volt. So that's kind of why I selected that, the fact that it's small and inexpensive. So this is pretty much where we left off on the on part 1 of the build. The only thing was I hadn't glued this in or wired it on yet, and the battery pack's been glued in. Showed all of that, and I've reworked the feet since that video a little bit to limit how much side-to-side wobble it had. And of course the body. Now I decided to do this front thing on mine as a separate piece that glues from the inside, and I did mine in translucent red. Translucent white, or what they call clear PLA, probably could have been cool too, because then it would look frosted white when it's off, and then only look red when the sequencing LEDs are going. Let's see, like so. And here you can see the linkage part working. If you remember right, in the first video I explained about the leg linkage and what's special about this particular design, which in my case, I don't know how old it really dates back to, but for me it dates back into the 50s with a Robot 7 that had moving legs, but the moving legs weren't on ratchet wheels. They didn't actually make the robot move. Underneath the moving legs there was actually a pinwalker mechanism that would come down and push the foot up off the ground, and then the pinwalking mechanism, of course, moved to the back, which moved the leg to the front, but the leg's mechanically moving to the front as well. Then the pinwalking part goes up inside. And they do that all from that one cam point, or crank point, if you will, off this gear. It's just that the crank point moves this outer one, which is this outer shell, which simply moves the leg back and forth because it's on a slot. And then this outer piece, the slot's down here and it's pinned there, so this one goes up and down as well as front to rear. So that's what gives you the two actions. You get the leg moving front to rear and you get the up down action. And I kind of use that action to help tip the whole thing when it's walking. I haven't tried it without the body. I really kind of balanced it with the body. Let's see if it'll walk. Yeah, it walks just fine without the body on there. So let's put the body back on before we lose some pins. Like I say, the body can be glued or screwed either way, because I did provide holes front and rear for, in my case, I'm going to use some 2mm machine thread screws, because that's what I have, the same ones that I use to hold the switch in place, and that'll keep the body on. Well, like I say, this is a nice snug fit. It's not like it's going to go anywhere. Then you got your battery door and the on-off switch. And so, you know, we have a mechanical, self-balancing, bipedal walking robot. Like I say, I'm going to call this particular one the Sentinel robot. And I will agree it would look cool. Of course, these arms could be glued in any position. I simply selected that position to glue them in because I kind of like them aiming up a little bit, since this normally is going to be on the floor or tabletop and we stand taller. But it would look cool with the leads on there, and I could do it, but I wanted to be able to take this thing apart as many times as necessary to shoot this video, and didn't want to have to worry about those wires getting down the gears. So I mean, right now if I wanted to put the LEDs in there, I could certainly pull the head off. Instead of gluing it on with permanent glue, I went ahead and used a little bit of the, I think I used the E7000. Let me see. Here are the three main glues for gluing things. This is the weld-on number 16. If I want to glue PLA to PLA and I don't ever want it to come apart, because it actually melts the PLA, fuses it together, the glue joint with this will be stronger than the rest of the PLA part. This is what I use. Now, if I want to be able to take something apart later, cut into it with a knife blade, or if I only put just a little bit on, I can maybe twist and get it loose. I'll normally use the E6000 because I can find it anywhere. I can go to Walmart, I can go to Home Depot, I can go to any of the craft stores, and you can find the E6000. It's got the really big opening, and it's good for glooping on large amounts anywhere. But again, like I say, recently a YouTuber turned me on to this B7000. I bought 2 tubes of this for like 10 bucks on Amazon. And the nice thing about this stuff is it is a different formulation than the E6000, because I can smell the difference in the thinner. But the nice thing about this is it's thinner, so sometimes that's helpful. It has this little metal tube that it comes out of, and a metal piece that goes down into the tube. And because it seals up that way, you never have to worry about it drying out and blocking the end. It works really well that way. But the little metal tube also makes it easy to put very small amounts exactly where you want it and no place else. So this has a has a place in your tools or glue workbench, as does this thicker one with the bigger opening when you really need to glop the stuff on, like holding a battery pack on. Or if you're working in PLA and you want a permanent bond, then of course this weld-on number 16 is pretty much the way to go. And again, I usually buy this on Amazon. So I think that's about it as far as the build goes. I guess I'll do a short demo video of this for people and then release these two build videos, kind of doing things in reverse order, shooting order, but to gather more traction and attention that way.